Day 2 of putting up Christmas lights, and this is something I do every year. I think this is my 5th year. I go to the extreme. Everything's labeled, so it's not hard. It's just time-consuming. 1,350 lights on that tree. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Lance with One Too Many Hobbies, and in this video, we're diving into another one of my hobbies. This is one of the hobbies that I do once a year around the holidays. Today's December, I think 20th, 19th. Couple days before Christmas, and in today's video I'm going to share with you and show you my Christmas light setup. I do the whole dancing to the music using Light-O-Rama controllers. All of my stuff is AC lights. I'm running about 7,000 LED lights around my house. This is the first year that it was actually felt like work. I really didn't want to do it. We had a busy Q4. But now that it's set up, the neighbors love it, and my kids absolutely love it. I'm rocking about 5 songs that I'll get to later in the video, and I've got about 58 channels used. There's probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6 channels left open that I've got plans for next year. I'm going to do a couple trees and whatnot. I'm not going to grow the show any more than it is because it is a lot of work. Getting on the roof is just a lot of work, and it's fun, but I do it for the kids, and after 5 years of doing it, it's time to kind of settle down and maybe do it for another 5 years and then sell it and move on to something else. But this is the first year that I'm going to dive into my setup, and let's get into the video. So my show is being played through this old-ass Dell computer, Windows base, that is running this software. The software is pretty dumb, to be honest. It literally tells the lights to turn on, turn off. There's not much to it. It's the same software that's been around for years on the AC side. They do have DC side that's pretty new over the last 5 years, but all my stuff is AC. As you can see, we've got the wire going out for the music and the Cat 6 that goes into controller number 1. Here's an example of one of the controllers in my show. I have 3 of these controllers. So you can see the gray wire goes in, and then it daisy chains out, and this runs all the way down out of the garage and onto the roof, and then from the roof controller it runs over to the other controller on the other side of the house. Now on each controller there is 16 plugs, meaning 16 channels, and how it works is you tell channel 16 to turn on and turn off to the song and to the beat of the song. And I have an extension cord being run out all the way down and underneath the garage door that goes out in the house. Up on top here you'll see an FM transmitter, and that is how the song is being displayed to the cars. You know, when the guys show up or the people show up in their cars, they tune to 88.9 for my show, and then the song will be played and transmitted to their car radio, and they will listen and look at the lights dance to the music. Over here is a basic timer. I don't like having my transmitter run all the time, so I have it going to a timing switch, and it pops on 5 minutes before the show. This one has actually been a pain in the butt, so I got rid of it this year about a week ago. When the power goes out, or if we lose power, I lose all my settings. So being 2021, 22, we went to one of these smart timers that you can use an app, and it's been really nice. I plug it in and tell it what time to come on. My show runs from 6 to 11, and the lights dance to the music from 6:30 to 10 p.m. And I do that just to be courteous to my neighbors. I don't want the lights being dancing around from 5:30 to midnight every night. So I do run 7 days a week from 6:30 to 10. And from 6 to 11 the lights are on. Let me take you outside and show you the rest of it. See, as you can see over here, this is the other controller on the other side of the garage, and I just have these things mounted to a piece of plywood, and there's a French cleat, so every year I just pull this off. That French cleat stays there all year, and pretty easy to set up. I'm not putting any holes in the walls or anything. Again, this one has 16 channels. You can see right here I have 4 channels on this controller that are open up, and I plan to use mini trees next year around the Grinch that I'll show you here in a minute. The rest of the channels have the extension cords that are going out to different parts of the grass or the house, the bushes, or the Grinch. Forgot to mention this earlier, but I just made this piece of plywood that's holding everything together, and behind here there's a French cleat, so I take this whole thing down during the off season and throw it in the attic. So all there you see is a French cleat sitting there when the show is not in use. When it is, I throw it up there on the French cleat, ready to go. Clear this little area out here for my computer. So there you can see it displays the 88.9 to the FM radio, and I have it displayed from 6:30 to 10 for the show. And I do have 2 blow-ups on my show. Olaf sitting right there for when the Frozen song comes on. And then over here, this year is a new addition. I used to have a smaller Grinch, but we went and upgraded to a larger Grinch for when the Grinch song pops up. You'll also notice in the yard I have these strobes that I made, and it just adds a cool effect at night in the throughout the show that you see across the whole house. And I even have them on the roof. And when the strobes are all going, it's just a cool effect. So you can kind of see my 3rd controller right there underneath the eaves, and I've got Cat 6 wire running from out here up the gutter, down the gutter, and then over to my 3rd controller. Actually, this is my 2nd controller. Then from there I have a Cat 6 wire running up and down, and it goes down that gutter to the controller on the other side of the garage. One of the things that I've been doing for a while is these little 3M adhesive pull away things. I actually left them up this year and I use zip ties, but last year I got these magnets, and man, do they really help. So I'm using magnets across the garage area and some of the windows. And then right here, I used to, when I first started this show, I used to use hot glue and do this whole thing, and it was just a pain. And now I just use these screws that just hold the LED lights up against the corner of the brick and the garage door, and it works out really well. Now, one thing that I did the very first year for these small little windows, I have, what do I have? 6, I have 7 small little windows like this. And so what I did is I created or made these cedar little frames you can kind of see in there, and that is what the LED lights is being held up with. And so what I do is I just pop those in and my little windows are done. I don't have to screw anything, I don't have to put any kind of like hardware or anything. I just pop in the wooden frames that are holding the lights, and that's it. So that's a small little ad. I am rocking both white and red on the gutters, as you can see. And I went to a new clip this year where it actually goes all the way around the LED light. So it should be easier to take off because I'll just pull them, which I probably shouldn't do, but that's the way I do it. And then when I'm storing it, they won't fall off. It's another example of using those magnets. Worked out really well. And then on this, because I can't really use screws in a wood, I'm using these anchor bolts with these conduit, half-inch conduit kind of things, and I just re-screw in the same hole every year. And these are just sealed LED lights that I bought off the internet, and they do really well. I had my first one fail after 5 years this year, so not too bad. They're not cheap, but they're bright and they look good. Here's an extension cord that powers the controller up on the roof underneath the eaves, and it just runs up there and powers that. So I do have everything labeled for the most part. I need to do a better job this year. There's some things that are missing, but I have everything labeled with these little tags that tells me where all the strands go. And so that really helps with putting the Christmas lights up every year. You You know, this one's the garage, the big garage door, and then the other one says small garage door. And those are already twisted together. It is 2 rows of green, so it goes all the way across twice, and it's 2 rows of whites that are twisted together. It's a pretty cool effect. It's got a very bright white and green look at night. So now let's just wait for the sun to go down and get some shots of the Christmas light show, and I'll probably break it up so I don't get copyright infringement, because I've got Mariah Carey, I've got the Grinch, I've got the Frozen song, I've got the like a techno one, and I've also got the Trans-Siberia Orchestra, whatever they're called. But while we wait, let's go inside and see what the wife is doing. I think they're making cookies for Santa Claus.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. The past is in the past, let it go.
So mad for Halloween, come around and we ain't knocking at your
Well, I hope you enjoyed the Christmas light show, seeing some of my songs. I had to chop them up there because I didn't want to get flagged from YouTube, and also kind of the behind the scenes on how I set it up and what is controlling these songs. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the kids and we're going to head out to the front yard and wait for Santa Claus to come by. Our county fire department is going to be bringing old good Saint Nick by, so the kids are going to be excited. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing because I've got a lot of cool content coming in 2022. I'm actually working on my back patio with a built-in barbecue grill and a sink. And we're also going to overhaul my wife's office this year. We're going to do like an IKEA hack. So if you haven't already, smash that like button and consider subscribing. And we'll see you guys in 2022. Happy holidays. Thanks for watching.
And were they surprised when he rolled his eyes and came to life that day? There must have been some magic. They placed it on his head. He began to dance around. Don't be snowman, 'cause a lad has deep for
Santa!